this inspection where the headmistress is looking through, cut.
Cut as in what? You get expelled?
Yeah, no, that cut your hair. Yeah, and yeah, I know it was traumatic because some girls.
Wait, what?
When you're keeping your hair natural for a long time, it grows long, and when you straighten it was long and drip. At that time too, there wasn't like much social media and all of that, so you don't know exactly what's going on.
No.
And then you arrive, and it hits you. Paige, it hit me so bad. I wanted to end my life. I wanted everything to stop. Oh God, let me not get emotional. I would go in the bathtub and I would kiss my skin. Good. Kiss myself. Because I got teased about being dark skinned. I got teased about having flat nose. I got teased about having Chinese eyes, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Those beautiful, are you kidding?
Oh yes, I used to actually pull them down.
No, pull them up. They're so beautiful, no.
And then when I remember being about 10 years old thinking, if I had the money, would I do surgery?
Not a 10. On today's episode of Texture Talks, I will be speaking with Lekia Lee, a TV presenter, journalist, entrepreneur, and founder of Project Embrace, a social enterprise that inspires young Black girls to feel empowered by their unique and beautiful hair texture. We talk about the importance of representation for young Black girls and some really shocking insights from her recent study on Black women's relationship with our hair. This episode is brought to you by Fulham Scalp and Hair Clinic, an incredible Black female mother-daughter-led trichology facility based here in London, who specialise in afro and curly hair and have dedicated their lives to helping us finally find the solutions to our biggest hair care problems. I've had a consultation with them myself, and I have honestly learned so much about my hair from that one session. It doesn't matter what condition your hair is in, please just take a moment and go and invest in yourself. Go to their website at fulhamscalphairclinic.com and get an appointment booked in today so you can get your hair care journey back on track. Use my discount code TextureTalks5 to get 5% off your consultation fee. You're welcome. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, help us to help more of the community by getting more eyes and ears on this show, please. I hope you enjoy the episode. How are you, Lekia?
Good, I'm good. I've made it here.
Yeah, you made it here alive. You know when people nowadays say, how are you? And I'm like, I'm breathing. So that's a positive thing because everything is very hectic, but I'm very, very glad to sit down and have a chat with you.
Oh, I'm so glad to have a chat with you. I just watch your videos on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, yes. And I want to interject and I want to say something and I want to interrupt because I'm always doing that with people.
Good. I want that. The whole point of this is to start conversation that's not just inside of our house, right? Or in the group chat.
Yeah. Or in the mirror, in front of the mirror, like in the bathroom.
Talking like, you followed the tutorial step by step. Why do you look like that? That's the internal dialogue I'm projecting in the bathroom.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that we can do this. There's a lot for us to talk about today, a lot. So we'll see what we can cover.
Yes.
I want to take it back. I want to take it back to your childhood.
Right.
I want to understand what your relationship was like with your hair as a child.
It's interesting. So born in the UK but brought up in Nigeria. So
when did you come over? How old?
When I came as an adult.
Oh, so you were raised in Nigeria?
Yeah, I was raised in Nigeria. So I was born here. My dad came to study.
Right.
And then after he studied, he'd gone back to Nigeria to work. Because at that time, actually, the naira was stronger than the pound. This was in the 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there was a time like that. It was actually stronger than the dollar. Yeah, because of the, the petroleum and oil. And that's the industry my dad worked in. So there was no reason for him to stay here when he could go to Nigeria and live a
good life.
Yeah. So I was about 8 years old when we moved back. So my first experience here, being a black child, was, I think it wasn't really specific hair, it was just me, blackness in itself.
Yeah.
Getting laughed at and getting picked on and getting touched and all of those kind of things. But I also remember, because my dad went back home before my mom and myself and my brothers went with her. So I remember when we were supposed to be going to take a family photo, my mom got the hot comb out, because back in the day it was the hot comb, and ready to, you know, make
press
her
on
hair
straighten,
look nice,
look beautiful.
And she's done it before, but I remember that particular day because I just saw it. I smelt the, you know, and
burning.
I ran to my dad and said, "Save me, save me!" I was quite dramatic as a child.
We all are. It's okay.
Yeah. "Save me, Daddy, save me!" And then he gave me a hug and said, "Don't worry, your mom was soothing me. Your mom's going to make you beautiful." I said, "Come on." He took me. And, you know, you still, no matter how careful and how much grease you put around your ears and everything, you still get the burn and the heat. It's really frightening. And then, you know, we went home, we went to the studio, took the pictures, and I smiled and everything, you know. And yeah, so that, I think for me, that's my first relationship with, a conscious relationship with my hair. Is the idea that, you know, to take a picture, to look nice, to take a picture, you have to look nice, and to look nice,
that's what that looked like.
That's what I had to do. That's just what I had to go through. And I think that has informed how I viewed doing my hair for a very long time, where you just have to go through pain. It's just one of those things that you just have to do.
It's just part of it.
Yeah, it's just
part of the process.
And going back to Nigeria, it's like, well, everyone around you has got your type of hair.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much of an issue, but everyone else also felt that your hair needed to be straightened. So everyone
in Nigeria.
Yes, yeah. Everyone was thinking that. But I went to a boarding school, so we weren't allowed to straighten our hair. So sometimes, we weren't. You know, now it's changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. So during the holidays, some of us will.
Rebel.
And when we come back, there's this inspection where the headmistress is looking through, cut.
Cut as in what? You get expelled?
Yeah. No, that cut your hair. Yeah, and I know it was traumatic because some girls, and
what?
When you're keeping your hair natural for a long time, it grows long, and when you straighten it was long, and zip. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, my mom never really did that, so I didn't really go through that. Yeah.
They have the power to do that.
Yeah.
Did the parents? Is it a cultural thing where everyone knows that happens?
Everyone knew that.
So
happened.
you go home bald.
Yes,
as a child.
I think by the time after about 3 months, some hair would have grown. But I think they say, well, the parents, you know, this is the consequence of.
Oh, that's pre-agreed in policy.
I think so. You know,
it has to be.
I was a teenager. I didn't know.
No, but it has to be. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it, right?
Yeah. Well.
Right? Right? Lekia.
I don't know if there was any.
So that happened to you?
No, that didn't happen to me.
Thank you, Jesus. Okay.
It's
I know, but it's the feeling of having it shaved off in front of your classmates as punishment. I feel like that has to be quite traumatic as an experience.
Yeah, it was, but I can't say for sure how they would have felt. I know there were tears and, you know.
Yeah.
But as teenagers, I think, you know, as children, because you don't have as much social cues, you can be quite cruel. So we would laugh at them.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's not the environment for that.
So when you think back now, you think, oh my days.
Yes.
This is what they did. This could not. And again, this is something that I really want to look into.
Yeah.
Is the hair trauma, the trauma we carry from
experiences like
all the experiences we've had with our hair. And actually, what made me think about it was my niece. She's 22.
Yeah.
And she came for one of my workshops.
Okay.
And we talked about the trauma of getting our hair done as children. Because as of now, unless you tell me different, all the black women I've spoken to have had some form of trauma with their hair.
Yeah.
And even her at 22 now, she too has had that too as well. And she's like, even though she knows, okay, this is what I need to do for my hair to flourish and grow, and logically she wants to be natural. I mean, she'd not use any chemicals.
I know what you mean.
But
in
she
theory.
can't show it.
Yeah.
So she would still cover her hair with weaves and, things like that, because deep down, she's still feeling the trauma of her natural hair. And she was asking me, she said, Auntie, how can we get rid of it? How can I think we can get rid of this trauma, because it stays with you.
It's attached to the hair.
Yeah.
The trauma in the hair is one.
Yeah, and then if we get rid of it, then it'll be easier to embrace our hair. So and it made me think, I'm like, throughout life, secondary school, growing up as a young adult.
I can't believe that.
There's a lot of trauma attached to our hair. But we brush it under the carpet. We we're just resilience.
No, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of playing the warrior.
Okay, but that's the thing. and there are consequences for that. Yeah, and many of us think, I'm normal. Many times if we unpack, that's the word, because I was trying to think of the word. If we unpack, we find out that so many things,
whole heap of things under there,
are not normal in our life. Because we've accepted it as normal doesn't mean...
The thing you've just told me, I'm still very, very shook up by that. By the shaving of the head, if you come in with the straight hair, because that's policy in the school in Nigeria. That, for me, I don't know how I'm going to get over that, because I just find that even if you're a little bit dramatic because you're a child, your hair is still, it's very personal to you.
Yeah.
It's very touching, anyone touching your hair. So to take it off because it's straight, yes, it's broken policy, at the very least, send them home, call the parents in.
Yeah.
But that as a rule, was that just in boarding schools?
I think so.
Yes,
because I can't say for sure. Funny enough, when you just said that, I do remember, and bear with me because this is many years ago.
It's okay. It was not long ago.
Yeah. And you know what? We are fortunate to get older. So
yes, you listen and you're growing with grace. So you're fine.
So you're okay. I'm getting to the point of where I'm proud of it.
Yeah. Good.
Let's be honest. So yes, my memory still might be a bit shaky. But having said about going home, I remembered one girl in my year actually going home because she refused. Because she had like the longest hair in our year.
Good for her. I'm kind of like, fair enough.
Yeah, so she went home, and I can't remember if it was, because if it was just heat, she probably would have washed it off. So it must have been
chemically straightened. Where she's like
and she went home. I can't really remember what happened, but after that, but she did leave with very good results. So,
but that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would like to know what the thought process was behind that rule, because your hair, to me, and I might be wrong, but as a child, even though my hair was an important part of my ecosystem, I got fantastic grades, even though I had a pretty tumultuous relationship with my hair. It didn't affect my studies at any point. And I think that's the premise of school, right? You go, you educate these kids, and they go and they live these fantastic lives. So I'm interested to understand what it was they were trying to achieve, because it could have been a positive reason. And I'm thinking maybe it was a positive reason implemented in a really aggressive way in terms of trying to make the children feel as one, or that's one thing I would love to understand. Why make that rule?
I mean, it's these are one of the reasons why people defend uniform policies and dress codes, is the fact that, especially for kids, they don't want that competition when it comes to like dressing and all of that. They want everyone to be, in a sense, one. And also some people argue for, what about creativity? What about individuality? And it's that balance, really.
Interesting. If
like
they're doing that
in life,
it feels like a good thing.
Yeah, but you have to understand too, back then, and I think to an extent now, but not so much, it was normal for secondary school children, primary school and secondary school children to have short hair, short like you. That was the policy, you have. That you have to have that. I'm not sure if it's a have to, because I know that, no, I think in some, it differs from school to school and region to region.
Is it trying to push self-love?
Some schools, I don't think they were thinking of it. I know, to be honest, I don't think that was
because I'm trying to find the good in it, because I feel like there is some good in saying your natural hair is so important that these are the ramifications if you straighten it. But I'm feeling like there might be something more sinister under there, and I don't know what it is.
I don't think it was about, your natural hair is beautiful, because our teachers didn't have natural hair.
Was it straight?
So yeah, lots of them at the time, was
Lekia.
jerry curls and
the curly perm.
and perms, yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't about that. I think it was just about again, history is full of stories of one group or one section of population trying to control the hair of another population. It's all over history almost in every society. I mean, it's like, say for example, prisoners. I was trying to think of a softer, but
Let's go in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prisoners of war.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Oh,
They shaved their hair. When you go to prison, now it's not like that. You could shave their hair.
Yeah.
Concentration camps.
Yeah.
They shave their hair.
Yeah. It seems to be a pinnacle of like a power dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. I was just doing some research, and back then, I think it was, I'm not sure if it's after First World War or Second World War, so people,
It's okay. Grace, everyone, carry on.
When they found, this was in France,
right.
When French women were found to have intimate relationship with German soldiers, what did they do to them? They cut their hair.
Really?
They then paraded them in the streets. That was the shame. Because the woman's hair is seen as, her glory, her beauty.
Jeez. People really been playing with people's hair to try and bring them down.
In religion.
Yeah.
In some religions, what do? You cover your hair.
Or you shave it.
Yes.
For monks.
For monks, you shave it. In China, in the 17th, 18th sort of century, the men had to wear a particular hairstyle to show their affiliation to a particular emperor. That's the cues, when
really?
The middle. Only the middle of the hair grows and the rest.
Oh my God.
All of that was to show their political affiliation. And when the emperor was overthrown, or his dynasty was overthrown, the men had to cut their hair. Some were so emotionally invested in having their cues that they would prefer to die than to cut it off.
Okay, all right, I see.
Yeah, so
the context is there.
The hair is so powerful. So going back to my secondary school and that time was like in the 70s, 80s. It was more of control and
power struggle to make sure that you fall in line.
Yes, you fall in line, you're in school, and then it's the boarding school as well. You're in school, these are the rules and these are the regulations, and you just have to obey them no matter what. There was no middle ground, so to speak.
So I feel like you had like quite a bit of trauma at like an early age around you in relation to...
Yeah, but you see, because we don't look at it as trauma, so we're like...
No, but then how do you think, if at all, even just those experiences, so Britain, hot comb, that's beauty, that's the first thing. Go to Nigeria, you realise, okay, if I have straight hair, I'm going to get in trouble, but in actual fact, I'm really just being told that this is what we said, so do it. How is that then translates to the latter part of your hair care journey? How does that communicate to then how you feel about your hair after you're a teenager?
So after a teenager, because we were told to keep our hair that way because we were in school, we were children.
Right.
So once you finished, the first thing you did was change that hair. And I couldn't wait. Once I finished what was equivalent to GCSEs, I think it was the next day.
The next day, 24 hours.
Yeah, honestly, it was that dramatic. My mom had agreed. We had agreed that was going to happen.
Put it in the diary.
Yes, but I put it in the diary. If we went back, if we had like mobile phones at the time, the alarm would have gone on. Lekia,
let's do it.
Time to change hair. Time to be beautiful. Time to be grown up.
Yes.
So those are all the ideas of it, and you don't really understand how deeply embedded and rooted that idea of feminine beauty relating to straight hair is until you certain things happen in your life and you think, wow, am I not a woman if I don't have straight hair? There's that poem, I can't remember, Ain't I a Woman? And I think we need to write one about hair. So Ain't I a Woman? Even though my hair is like this. My plumage is different, but ain't I a woman? But at the time, you don't think about, because it's something that is so indoctrinated, we're socialized to think that way. We don't realize until we start losing our hair, for me, it was facing racism again as an adult. Because I faced it as a child, and I'm like, this thing is still there.
Still. So this is you come back from Nigeria to UK, thinking maybe things are a little different, and you're like, this still?
For some reason, it just didn't occur to me that I really did think things were different. I really did.
I love the hope in you, girl.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
So, and that's why, when you're out of it, you don't really realize. I mean, and at that time too, there wasn't like much social media and all of that, so you don't know exactly what's going on.
No.
And then you arrive, and it hits you. Paige, it hit me so bad. I wanted to end my life. I wanted everything to stop. Oh God, let me not get emotional.
It's okay.
I felt so unworthy. I had worked for a bit in Nigeria, and I came to, wanted to continue working here as a journalist. And I could see how my talents and skills were just seen as second rate, because my training was in a country that they didn't rate, so to speak. And I used to say, if I trained in America, even though I'm black, but I trained in America, trained in South Africa or somewhere, and then it's when I do things, they're like, oh, they're surprised. Oh, Lekia can do that. I said, yes, I told you. And even when I went because I studied chemistry in the University of Nigeria.
Yes. Yes, let them know.
But I got into media, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I was going to study media. And as I said, you know what, I've got a British passport. Let me come and study it here in the UK.
Why not?
Why not, The world is my oyster.
Sure.
But I realize not everyone is thinking that the world is supposed to be your oyster when you're a black person and a black woman, It's almost like there's a restriction. No, everyone else, we can explore the world.
It's an oyster, but my love, you have here.
Yes, you work within this. This is your remit. This is your space. This is where you're supposed to be and not allowed. But everyone else, I can go and explore. I can go and live here and see how it is, But anyway, that was my mindset. So I lived in a country where, in that sense, I wasn't really told I can't do things. And I think that has helped me later when I was facing a lot of barriers. So I came with all that hope and, optimism and, enthusiasm and passion to work in the media. And, I got into university, and especially when it came to the practical work, and they're like, oh, wow, Lekia, this is great. I said, yes, because I've worked in radio, so I know.
I have this experience. Yeah, please don't sound so shocked.
Yeah, exactly. Even my head of department, I said, but I told you. And we had one of our journalist lecturer, she was taking us on radio, and she never used to talk to me. She never had eye contact with me.
I noticed that with people I know when they don't.
And even my course mates were saying, oh God, they would ask me, say, why does Angela
not like you?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I can guess though.
Yeah, but then they were guessing because they said, oh, her son is dating a black woman.
Oh, here we go.
So she must be projecting that on me. I was like, but when we did the radio and we did the practicals and we had to do make sure for the program, that was the first time she said something to me. She just said, Lekia, that was really good. The first and last time she ever said anything to me. I think she was just taken aback. She didn't really expect.
And just gave you your props and moved on.
Yeah, she couldn't help herself, almost.
So then when it comes to your experience coming up in media, what time frame are we talking? I want to know what the representation was like.
So we're talking, so I came into the UK in 1995.
Okay.
So we're talking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, pre-Facebook, pre-Twitter.
Good times.
Do sometimes I think pre-Google even. Yeah. Because sometimes I think, how did we manage?
How did we live?
I remember having the notebook where you have all these numbers and contacts and all that. Now you just go to the LinkedIn.
Listen, I remember taking a floppy disk to school. With my work. My age is showing. I had to my floppy disk, and they were like, thank you, Paige.
Yeah, I know. And that was the beginning of emails as well.
Yeah, when you sat and you wait for the dial-up.
Yes.
And the little thing going from the globe.
Yeah, So when it's saving, when you see,
and you just wait,
waiting.
Right. So it was a good time for the nostalgia. But in terms of representation of black women in the media and what their hair looked like, talk to me about what you saw.
How long do we have?
We have enough time to talk about that. Oh God, let me get comfortable. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay. No?
Nothing.
Okay.
No one. Actually, there was one woman. I still remember her name because that's how powerful it felt to me.
Yeah?
Her name, I've actually been looking for her, but I think she's in Australia.
We'll try to find her.
Her name is Wendy Douglas.
Okay.
And she was the only woman at the time, black woman at the time, that had locks.
She had locks?
On TV. I know. She had locks. I just want to see that woman. I give her a hug.
Come on, Wendy.
Yes.
With the locks in the 90s on TV.
Yes.
Mad.
Yes.
British TV.
Late 90s. British. British, you know.
I had to check.
Yes. Yeah. And she was the only woman.
That was it.
At that period of time when I was having to rethink everything about my whole experience, what I have gone through, and something in me, when I obviously didn't succeed in leaving the world.
Yes, good.
And I said, you know what, maybe so I have to do something because I can't live like this.
No,
I can't live with this heavy weight, this feeling. I'm gonna love myself.
Good, okay.
And so I will go in the bathtub and I will kiss my skin.
Good.
Kiss myself, because I got teased about being dark skinned. I got teased about having flat nose. I got teased about having Chinese eyes, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Those beautiful, are you kidding?
Oh yes, I used to actually pull them down.
No, pull them up. They're so beautiful, no.
And then when I remember being about 10 years old thinking, if I had the money, would I do surgery?
Not a 10.
But then I thought, something in me felt, it just didn't feel right. And I felt a bit,
just like uncomfortable.
Ashamed,
right?
yeah,
okay.
that I thought that, but it did. And then I thought, if I was a white girl, how would my life be? I was 10.
You're 10?
I was 10 because I've had enough teasing, laughing at, mocking, just for the way that I looked, you know, and for me, a lot of all of my young adult life, I just accepted, okay, I'm ugly, you know. That's just
not though.
So that's it, you know. So this is just for you to understand how I felt, and then having to face people just putting me down, not giving me a chance when I know I could do it. I would see presenters on TV and I'm like, I can do it.
I can do that.
And then even when I did get job in the media, I would like train people or coach people coming in, and they would get promoted above me.
I've been there.
Yeah, and it got so, you know, even I remember going for a particular interview, and they buddied us up with broadcast journalists already working, and I helped one of them write a news story because the time was going, and she just needed to change a sentence to fit into the 2 minutes, and she just didn't know what to do. And I knew what to do. I just knew the sentence to change. So I thought I'll let her sweat for a bit, you know. Oh God, 5 minutes. And I just said, oh, let me just do that. Because I was just supposed to shadow her. And I just changed it, and it gave her an extra 2-3 seconds. She was so grateful. She said, look, I'm going to tell the guy that was in the interview that you saved the day. You have to get this job. And it was the same day, and they told me I didn't get the job. So she came to me after the whole interview, you know, happily thinking, and then I looked at her, I was about to say, no, I didn't get it. And I just started crying. I just started crying and crying and crying. And she didn't know what to do, was to hug me. Or she was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, it's fine.
It's just ongoing.
And I left the building. That was the time I made the decision that I'm not gonna rise the way I feel I deserve to rise. I have to leave and do my own thing. And this was just before I said, so anyway, when it didn't work, I spoke to a therapist. It was only one session we had, but it was a black woman, but she really made me understand what was going on. And it was just down to my self-love and accepting myself first before anything else. Because I was allowing all these people to decide for me. And it just starts with what you can see. You know, it's easier to start with what you can see instead of just telling yourself, oh. I would look at myself and I'll look at the mirror and, you know, I won't say anything, but I would just look. And then, you know, I would kiss my skin and all of that. And then I said, but if I'm going to accept my nose and my eyes and my lips and my skin color and my nails and my fingers and the fact that my middle finger bends a bit, you know, all the little things. And the fact that one ear this way, another ear is not.
The things that make you Lekia.
Yeah, the things that make me Lekia, exactly. Yeah. Why would I not accept my hair? It just didn't fit.
Doesn't make sense.
It just didn't make sense.
You can't go on that journey and leave this out.
Yeah, that was still straightening my hair.
No.
I didn't think that self-love thing would be complete.
Were you straightening your hair at this point?
Yeah, I was straightening my hair at that
Was it chemically or with straighteners?
No, with chemically.
Like relaxer?
Yeah, I didn't have time to be doing
I was like, no, I didn't.
Because again, because of my hair texture, it wouldn't even straighten.
Straighteners were never going to help me either. Yeah. It had to be with chemical or nothing.
Yes. And, you know, and then I had sensitive scalp. So, you know, by the time they've done one side, I'm dead. I'm like, please, take it off.
Take it off.
And they're like, oh, we haven't done the other side. I'm like, oh.
It doesn't matter, please.
And then they say, okay, quick. Okay, wash it. They said it won't cook.
Oh my God.
I was like, wash it off. And I have to go back 4 weeks later because obviously.
Yeah, because it's not.
You know, and.
So you go to the therapist, you made this decision.
Yes, and
do you stop relaxing your hair?
Not immediately.
No.
It was
have to ease yourself in. It's a big change.
Yeah, because the idea to not straighten my hair didn't happen after I spoke to her.
Right.
It was just one day. I think it was about a week or so.
Yeah.
I just looked in the mirror.
I'm just not.
I'm on this exercise of, you know, accepting how I look.
Yeah.
And no.
You just stopped. You were like, just one day, I'm not doing this.
And so I just cut the whole thing off. I didn't like grow it out. Nah.
You just cut it off?
I just cut it off because I really needed to let that go. I just needed, and I felt so good.
Let me stop for a second for a stat that's very personal for me. Hair colouring sales within the black consumers market reached 26 million in 2021. But the question really needs to be, how much are we spending to make sure that our coloured curls are properly taken care of? As you guys may have noticed, I have had to cut my own locks off. Yeah, I've had to restart my entire hair care journey from scratch. After I went to go and see our sponsors, Fulham Scalp and Hair Clinic, I realized the irreparable damage caused to my natural hair from DIY hair coloring. It was one of the most shocking but most incredible steps that I have taken in my hair care journey thus far. Just going to see a trichologist. And it's now allowed me an opportunity to start again, but with both Eleanor and Teresa from Fulham Scalp and Hair holding my hand every step of the way. Does this kind of support sound like it could help you too? Let's be real. How much would you pay for peace of mind? Are we not done with being confused and suffering in silence? Since 2011, Fulham Scalp and Hair Clinic have provided the Afro and curly haired community with the kind of support and direct, honest advice that gives us a clear understanding of the state of our hair and scalp and the steps that we need to follow to achieve real progress. Go to www.fulhamscalphairclinic.com and use my discount code, TextureTalks5. Get the help and support you need. Let's get our hair care journeys back on track. And before I send you back to the episode, hold on. Help your girl out. Hit the subscribe if you're enjoying the episode. Lekia and I have so much more to dig into, so I'm gonna have to let you get back to the interview. Just wanted to make a little statement before I do. Enjoy. Question that's just popped in my head. Looking at your childhood, and we're looking at how the environments and the things you experience can impact. Do you feel like, as much as we know that depressing the Western standards of beauty, especially in the UK, would have an impact on how you felt about your Afro hair, do you think that there was something positive, bear with me, in being able to see the way in which at school they were almost, I don't want to say detached from the hair, but able to shave or cut it without this like worry or this overthinking? Do you think that could have helped you to have a similar feeling to just cut it off?
Great question, because I've asked myself that too, and I think a simple answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not completely far removed from my imagination.
Yeah.
Because actually, I even decided by the time I was in the equivalent of, equivalent of year 9, I decided to cut my hair myself.
You're comfortable with that concept.
So yeah, exactly, because I was comfortable, because there were many of us that had it.
Yeah.
And when I told my mom at first, she was like, "Oh," because she like,
okay.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, "Okay." If you feel, and for me, I knew that if I told her it's just because I wanted to focus more on my studies, that would be
the winner. She'd be like, okay.
If she watched this,
yeah,
it wasn't really.
No, obviously not. You've got to be smart. Strategy.
Yeah, I just felt, because then I always had to get someone to help me plait my hair and all of that, and I was just getting a bit fed up of because I didn't know how to do, because normally it was exchange. So I plait your hair, you plait
mine, right?
I was a bit lazy. I never learned how to do it at the time.
It's fine, but at least you have that. You don't have that attachment that I know that a lot of black women do still have to their hair, in terms of they won't even trim it. No,
but women cry. I remember going, so after I had my daughter, because while I was pregnant, my hair grew like wildfire.
I've heard this.
Yes, already my hair is thick, and then it grew even, you know, and I took some really,
my mum took a photo, she had a curly perm, and it was some big old afro.
My hair was out there. And then after she turned 2, it started falling out. So I was like, oh, this is over. I was washing my hair, and I was like,
it was like clumps.
Yeah,
really?
Like, what? But you see, if you see my hair, you wouldn't really know, because it was already, it still looked thick.
Yeah, because there was so much of it.
Yeah, but then in comparison, I knew. So I said, what's the point? Let me just cut it. And I actually like short look. I really love it.
Same.
So I cut it all off. Yeah. Actually slightly shorter than yours. And I loved it.
Yeah? So this is like the third or fourth time now that you took the scissors to the headpiece? Because when you cut the relaxer off when you were younger?
No. The relaxer off was, I'm counting
them. I'm counting. I'm listening, sis. I'm realizing you're comfortable.
Yeah, it's true. See, it's just so happened that I haven't even taken account.
I'm taking account. Like, that's again where you're like, I'm okay with this, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, because I didn't feel... And when I went to the barbers at the time, the guy was like, you want to cut all of this? I'm like, yes, just... He said, no.
He said, no?
I said, why? He said, women come to me and say they want to cut their hair, and then I cut it, and then they're crying and they're unhappy.
Okay.
He said, he was serious. I said, look, I want to cut my hair. I'm fine with it. You know, actually, if I'd spoken to you, then I would have told him I've cut my hair before.
Yeah, so she'd be like, this ain't new.
This ain't new.
No.
But I was surprised. He said, look, you don't understand. Women cry, literally cry. And they're the ones that come to me. So he said, we signed this agreement.
NDA?
I laughed. He said, no, I'm serious.
Oh, no, really?
He brought out a piece of paper that had already said...
We are so attached to the length.
Yeah.
And I feel sad for those women, you know, because the intent was there, but the self-work needs to be done for you to actually make the decision.
And I think that's what my niece was talking about. She says, you know what you want to do, the intent is there, but...
The action, it makes it hard.
Yeah.
So, you have your daughter.
Yeah, in 2005.
2005, fantastic, good year. And then, why have we why have we made Project Embrace? Talk to me about that. Let's look at the next generation's childhood experience.
Childhood experience.
Yes.
So, yeah, I had my daughter, and when she was about, so Project Embrace is really about my daughter.
Yeah.
So when she was about 3, we would go out, and she will, you know, then obviously she didn't really have like any social inhibitions.
She's
like,
3.
Like 3 years old. They don't know.
No.
So she would see people and like, hello, hi. I'm Sarah, and this is my mom. It was so theatrical. I thought she was going to do
acting.
Yeah. Instead, she's doing engineering. But anyway,
good for her.
So she's like, you know, she was always, people come to the house. I am Sarah, and this is my mom, and these are my cousins.
Love that.
So anyway, so it was okay. And people would say, oh, cute.
Yeah.
You know, 3-year-old, thank you. You know, and then she would say, I love your hair.
Yeah.
But she only said it to black women with straight hair, black women with weaves.
Yeah.
She wasn't saying it to black women with my hair kind of hair, her kind of
Interesting.
hair. Exactly. So it got me thinking.
So you picked up on that?
So, yeah, because I was, when I knew I was having a girl, I was very focused.
Yeah.
Because I had gone through, by the time I had been 5 years natural.
So you're gearing up.
So I'm gearing up. I know
what the
baby excitement is. You know? So I got rid of all, because I was a magazine junkie. I had, you know,
back in the day, I
loved magazines.
Yeah.
I got rid of everything, the black one, everything. I got rid of
exchange.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I just got rid of them, recycle, because I knew that the imagery was not going to be good for her. I was very conscious of the books that I bought her. Then it was very difficult to find books with black girls and with their natural hair.
Yeah.
I remember a friend of mine actually got one ordered from America. It was I Love My Hair. I see it in the shops now.
Yeah.
You couldn't find it in shops.
Yeah.
And so I didn't get, so she didn't watch any Disney.
Disney?
No, not all. But the princess, all the Disney princesses.
The Disney's, the princesses had to be ethnic?
Yeah, but there was none.
So no Disney.
So no Disney princess. But she would I would, you know, like Lion King. Is Lion King Disney?
Lion King is Disney. They're animals, so we're good
they're
on that.
animals.
Yep.
So animals was fine.
Yeah, okay.
Cars was fine. But, you know, I would always watch it first to see what the representation. If there's no representation, off you go. You're not coming into my house.
I love that.
So
I love that attention to detail.
Because
Good.
I knew, I mean, having studied media, you study advertising and psychology, understand how these things work. Yeah. So I was very, you know, even dolls, it was difficult to get dolls. So even it was teddy bears and stuff like that. But she did have one black doll. Oh, I'll tell you about another doll experience, but the hair was drawn on it. I said, that's good enough.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Okay.
You will take it, but then just to
absolutely fine.
Bit. Yeah. Let's take it.
No problem.
Because I remember a friend of mine, she had her daughter, her daughter's 26 now.
Yeah.
So when she was about 2, 3, so she bought this black doll for her daughter, you know, like dark-skinned black doll for her daughter.
Okay.
And so I went to see her. We were going somewhere, so I went to see her. And I said, oh my God, such a beautiful doll, wow. Da, 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 da. She said, Lekia, the only person that said that
is you.
I said, what do you mean? She said, every single person that has come to the house and seen the doll and said, oh, ugly doll.
They haven't said that.
Why did you get, well, hold on. Why did you get a doll like that for her?
Black people?
Yeah. Black people. And then at a point, because her daughter really loved that doll, it hurt her daughter's feelings.
Because the daughter's going to be like, oh, this is ugly, is it?
Yeah. When she's hearing that over and over and over again,
That's telling her.
Because people are coming to the house and they're just saying it like that.
Oh my God.
And so, so when I had my own daughter, another 10 years or so later, you know, anyway, I knew even without that. And that particular doll, one of my sister-in-laws came and said, why'd you get her ugly doll?
Are they saying the word ugly?
Yes, they're using the word.
Are you sure?
Yes, UGLY ugly. And it just reminded me of back 10 years ago. And I said, and my daughter was there. And you could see her face change. I said, why did you say that in front of her?
Honestly.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I said, no, you didn't mean it, but you said it in front of her. You know how much she loves her doll. And you know how children are attached.
They take it in.
To their dolls. No, look, if you got that doll and you did this to the doll, you know, or hit the doll.
She would lose her mind,
Yeah, she'll be upset.
Yeah.
Because they're not looking, there's almost no barrier between them and the doll. It's almost, this is mine, this is me.
Yes.
You know, so she was really offended. Oh, my sister-in-law, she apologized, but I was so upset.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so again, you know, that just shows how we too have been socialized by Western beauty standards.
So, of course, you're working incredibly hard to make sure that the representation piece is there for Baby Girl.
Yeah, so...
And at this point, you're working very hard, but what you're noticing is still that she's almost, without realizing it, favoring straight hair.
Yes, and that was like a blow. I was like, with everything that I've done, how is that possible?
With this work I'm putting in.
Yes, with everything. Still. And so I thought, is it that she's not actually seeing black women with natural hair, or she's not seeing them psychologically, that they're there, but it doesn't register to her because that is not what beauty is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I've monitored TV and all that, you know,
still.
any of those channels with adverts, we won't watch because, you know, the children, because when they watch children's programming, there's the adverts, and all the adverts for girly things, they're always white girls. They're always white girls. You don't see black girls. They're almost like they don't exist. If they want black representation, it's generally boys, but not girls. I was like, how is this happening? This media is powerful, man. Somehow, and she hadn't started nursery school at that time, but somehow that message was still being able to, being penetrated into her mind.
So you needed to fight it.
So I needed to fight it. And I said, what's the thing to do? Would be, okay, it's the advertising is a big, because she, actually, even when she did get to watch adverts, because that's how adverts are made, to hold you your attention for 30 seconds, she's like that. And you go to her, I was like, jeez. So I said I was going to write an open letter. Like, I'm a journalist. I'll write an open letter in the Guardian newspaper, you know, and really call out the advertisers and the media in the whole, and saying, you guys have to do better. There has to be equal representation because we all deserve to be seen. So I wrote it, and you're looking at me thinking, did I ever really come across anything like that in newspaper? I don't really think so.
I'm intrigued to know what their response was. Did they respond?
Because I didn't send it, so they didn't respond. I was like, yeah, I know. It's like the self-conscious, not feeling worthy enough, good enough. You know, that sneaks into sometimes.
Yeah, but then realistically, even if you didn't do it, creating Project Embrace would do more, in my opinion, than one open letter.
Yes. So when I didn't, so that was actually, in that sense, my insecurity served me. Yeah. Because I thought, I can't send this, they're not going to listen to me. But then a few months later, you know, it was still nagging me. It was still, you know, my other niece, who is older too, was having those thoughts and saying, oh, she wanted to change her hair at 7 years old.
At 7?
Yeah, she wanted to, it just happened, it happens earlier. And I said, why can't I be the one to make those adverts? It's like, yeah, why can't I have a billboard campaign?
Why not?
Why can't I put black women with their natural hair on a pedestal, like a big billboard, for everyone to see? Why can't I do that? Why shouldn't everybody see our beauty, our authentic beauty? And then that's how the idea of Project Embrace came about.
Thank God for that. And what do you think has been like your proudest moment thus far? There's more to come with Project Embrace, where you were like,
yeah, actually, was the very first one. Now, when I go back and look at the post, I'm like, oh God, this was so amateur.
No, talk to me. Why did it make you feel pride?
Because again, those nagging. Actually, no. With the first one, I was so focused and so passionate, so determined that insecurity couldn't find a way in. It was trying, but I really wanted this to happen. So with no funding, no no idea. You know, I don't work in the advertising industry. I didn't know how it works. You know, always just Google, how do you get a billboard? I speak to them, I say, how much is it? They tell me the price. I say, oh my Lord.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Yes, take the wheel. So it was just a really gradual process. Okay, start with having a Facebook page, you know, have a Facebook page, having these discussions. Okay, and then I did the first photo shoot. With a friend's studio. He said, look, just pay me when you can. I had some money at the time. It was really, gave me a very reasonable price. I got some women I know, we did the pictures and all of that, but then it was putting it on billboards. That was another, you know, so I couldn't. So I said, okay, maybe the billboard companies can sponsor me.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a good idea.
So that's when I just started, you know, reaching out. Please, can you help me? And one company finally got back to me. It's called UK Billboards, a smaller billboard company. But what happened, because I'd emailed all the larger ones, and no one got back to me.
What a shock.
Yes, exactly. What a shock. One actually said, we've already
filled our quota.
Filled our quota for charities because they did.
How'd I know you were in there?
Yes, exactly.
Boxes ticked for the year. Sorry, sis.
Exactly. They do the missing people.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
That's all they can do. You know.
Don't even get
in my mind, I was like, so yeah, you do. And.
Okay, exactly. So you call UK Billboard said yes.
Yes. So UK Billboards, they said yes.
Yeah.
No, actually, first they said no.
Okay.
So I wrote an email and they said, oh, you know, the managing director was like, yeah, thanks for contacting us. Oh, I don't think this is actually a problem. I was married to a black woman in the 70s and she didn't have any problem with her natural hair.
Let me hold my tongue. Let me hold my tongue.
Hold it, be patient. And then I was incensed. I was so angry.
Same.
I started replying. How can you say that? Well, it's a good thing that your wife did not have that problem, but it's an issue, and you cannot tell me that it is an issue. Best regards. And I just said, that's it. They're not going to.
I don't care. I don't send it.
No, I just said, I didn't care.
No, have integrity to fight when you need to fight. I don't business, fine.
Yeah, I said, I've told him my mind. Good. How dare he say it's an issue?
Invalidate the whole problems of a whole culture of people.
I'm like,
because your wife didn't have it.
Exactly.
Well, thank God she didn't.
Oh no, we have a rich black woman in America, aka Oprah Winfrey. So the poverty is not an issue.
Everything's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I was.
Yes.
And I said, and I just said, that's it. They're not going to give me the billboard anyway. So let's forget it.
Let's move on.
I'll figure something out somehow. And then they replied. It was now his like the person just below him said, oh, actually, we would like to. I was like, huh? Sorry? You see, sometimes when you're fearless, and you really don't give a that's when people respond to you.
So that was your first billboard. Where was the billboard? I remember, I can see it. It's like on the side of a very, very high building.
Yeah, no, that was the second.
Is that the second?
Yeah. Okay. The very first one was, oh dear, it was a major road. It was on like a motorway. Why can't I forget it? Please.
I don't know which motorway, but it was on a motorway. Yeah, and it was big?
Yeah, it was big, then a friend of mine, Valley, that works at the BBC, and when I told her about it months ago, she said, when you get it out, just tell me, Lekia. Yeah. We will cover it. Yeah. I will make sure, you know. Yeah. And she even said, it will be nice if we can have it, launch it on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. Yeah. Yes, so it was a bit frantic at the time to get the company to say, okay, look, can we do it on this day?
But you got it on deadline.
So got it on deadline and everything.
That must have been amazing.
And she covered it. That was great. And a few women who had come to do the because what I did an open call, open auditions. You know, I just thought that would be a nice way to get people involved 100%. As well. You know, we did auditions, and the first auditions we had 60 people respond, and we selected 6 people. And also I did a photo shoot with my daughter in it and one of my nieces as well. Because the idea was that I wanted these older people and then the next generation looking up to them and saying, okay, you know, I can be like this.
Did you bring your daughter to see when the billboard?
Yes. So it was actually, and thank goodness, Valley kept her word. It was on the BBC London Evening News.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, fine. But you know, next she called and said, oh Lekia, this getting such a number of views. Oh, we've got like 2K views. Oh yeah, it's 15K. Oh wow. I was like, oh, it's 40.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the most viewed video for that day on BBC London. Yeah, it got to I think 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
200,000, something like that.
The key things that I've noticed and that I've picked up from this incredible conversation is we need to be paying attention to everything from the terminologies we use around the baby dem.
Yes.
The representation that we are in control of. As I'm saying, as parents, my womb stays empty, but for y'all that are, not me. But if you do have children, the representation, as the key of quite incredibly stated, is down to the dolls you buy, the adverts they watch. All of that comes into it, and being able to basically practice what you preach, because everybody's out here telling people what to do with their kids, but are they actually living that? You are living that. You've created a whole movement to show you are living and breathing everything you're trying to push out to other parents and other people in our community, so that there's not that trauma that's going to hold them back later on in life. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
What do you want for the next, because you did a lot in 6 years, so let's say the next 6, what do you want?
So with Project Embrace, we need, I know you said it's done a lot, but it doesn't feel like a lot.
Sure.
So I feel that we need to do more. I think the billboard campaigns need to be something that is in the national calendar, where we know that these kind of billboards are coming out every year, and you know, activities are created around it, and to a point where we don't need them again, because this is, but at the moment we do. Also, I'll just quickly mention we've done a survey, and it still shows that the idea of feminine beauty is still tied down to straight hair, and the trauma a lot of black women feel because of that, and it starts from childhood, because from our survey we find that children as young as 3 are wanting their hair changed.
3?
Yes, and some women said their hair got straightened from as young as 3. I've actually witnessed a 4-year-old autistic girl having her hair straightened. Well, okay, I didn't witness, my sister-in-law witnessed it, and 2 women had to hold her down because she was screaming. That is trauma.
That's abuse.
Yes, for a 4-year-old girl. So it's still very much, and also we're doing workshops, presentations, because we want to get this idea that hair care doesn't have to be traumatic. It doesn't have to be, keep your hair still, come pull. No, gentle hair care. It's possible to practice gentle hair care on Afro-textured hair.
It is.
There's just steps that you need to take. This idea that our hair is difficult to manage. Our ancestors were managing our hair.
They were just fine.
Yeah, they were fine. They were not more intelligent than we are, or maybe they were, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. But they did it. If they could do it, why can't we do it with all the help and technology we have? So there's still a whole lexicon that we have to change, the whole language we have to change around our hair, and then how it's described, you know,
and how early we do that. And we just have to accept that a lot of damage has been done when it comes to how our hair is viewed, and also the whole society has a problem with black women's hair. We have to address that. We have to talk about it. Hopefully we can talk about it. Well, I say hopefully, we are talking about it more.
Yeah. So I mean, what you're doing is fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that someone like you out there, because I remember when I first started, you know, the abuse I got, you know, and sometimes it's so difficult.
From who?
From people like me and you, women like me and you.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got to do better because we're only here trying to help.
And that's why I said,
Like,
I'm only telling you that your hair is beautiful in its natural state. How can that be such a terrible thing?
That's insane.
Yes. So it's just so nice to know that, you know, I've got...
You got allies.
Yeah, I got allies. I love this woman.
I love you too.
And it just feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
We could do this.
Yes. And,
Rome wasn't built in a day. It'll take a little time.
It'll
But we
take
can
a
do
little time.
We can do
Because
it.
It took hundreds of years to make
these problems.
Yes. And the language is still on.
Oh yeah,
It's still ongoing.
It's still on and popping today.
Yes.
So it might take another century to undo it, but we have to start.
We have to start, because you never know. When you plant a tree,
you don't know how fast that's going to grow.
Yeah.
So at least the seeds are there.
your seeds are there. We've planted the seeds.
And now we just have to support each other to help it grow.
And it will grow.
It will grow.
It will. I
100%. I know it will.
It will grow. So yeah.
Thank you, Lekia, so much.
Thank you so much.
Keep hustling, keep grinding. I'm there with you, sis.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed this incredibly insightful podcast episode today. And I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.